Dear Darkscythe, you seem like a massive troublemaker. I collect massive troublemakers. Or at the very least, I seek them out. In the Brony fandom, this gentleman's name is called Final Draft. Horse news, they would have you believe he's Satan. So naturally, I went on a way to talk to the guy. This is Elite Pete. I assume she needs no introduction. This is Rion Rhino Mills of the CC, who's infamous for hitting the bunch of brony people. Pretty much that. Long story short, I would like to have a podcast with you. I like talking with people with unpopular opinions. I'll promote your channel, and I might even throw some artwork your way. For ya. I've had a level-headed podcast with the Fandom Menace, too, and why it's fun to get into a screaming match, even screaming matches that don't concern me. But since I already made this offer to you in your comments, and I didn't hear shit back, don't mind me, I'm just gonna stick my dick in your pudding.
What's going on, everyone? Darkscythe here.
Edgy!
What?
Edgy! Your avatar's too edgy, Darkscythe!
Let me introduce you to Boonslayer, the head of the Federation of the Exalted. I'm part of the group, though he may throw me out after he sees this video. He's a fan of the classic Powerpuff Girls show.
Love it so much. And that's what made the Powerpuff Girls different from so many other superheroes. Their quest for justice was fueled entirely by their own sadism. They weren't trying to avenge the death of whoever or fulfill the responsibility that comes with whatever blah blah blah. They just like when they kick the dude and the red stuff comes out. Powerpuff Girls was a celebration of all the things your mommy told you you're not supposed to like. Things like violence, sadism, gore, mayhem, dismemberment, snot, dirty jokes, voluptuous women, falling glass, dangerous weapons, gross monsters, nightmare fuel, weird bugs, giant robots that make anime sounds, extended sequences of missile hatches opening, high-tempo percussion solos, explosions, Zack Snyder levels of apocalyptic collateral damage, torture, body horror, elder abuse, children hitting each other, Dragon Ball Z fights, whatever the heck's going on here, real actual guns.
So, as you can see, he clearly actually likes you because the Powerpuff Girls original series is edgy, and you're edgy. Hey Darkscythe. Can I call you Buttercup? I think if we did, Boon might grow to like you more. I mean, it's not like Boonslayer here didn't put out a video himself and missed on why one of his favorite shows was the edgiest show for little girls or even grown men. That would be fucking embarrassing for the head of a commentary group. It's almost like CC members wouldn't know how to review and would pigeonhole themselves into a dangerously unwieldy subcommunity.
Mortal Kombat Conquest sucked.
I mean, I'm not really sure what Mortal Kombat Conquest mode has to.
Let me slow this down for you, Buttercup. As a normie, you don't understand that spelling things with a K is the ultimate way to be edgy. Take Toon Critic here, for example. The single most edgy man on the internet. Mortal Kombat is spelt with a K. The Conquest mode in Mortal Kombat is spelt with a K, meaning it has two Ks, meaning it's super edgy. Let me know if I'm going a little too fast for you, Buttercup.
Darkscythe, you better not mention my diaper fetish, because if you do, I'm going to report you for cyberbullying and disable comments. Besides, it's just gonna be a generic CC rant, so fuck you.
Hey, I didn't realize that Doodle Tones looked like Sinnow. So, your teasing is all good, clean fun. Allow me to respond. And remember, I'm just ribbing you.
You're like Nero's Q. The amount of edge made me lose my arm. Oh my god!
Alright, that's it.
So, let me explain to the audience what's going on here. Darkscythe is a stereotypical 8chan medfag, i.e. he stands for nothing, he does nothing, and he is nothing. At least, that's what he wants you to believe. Oh no, my little ponies, he does believe in one thing.
Video games uniquely leave absolutely no impression on anyone who comes into contact with them. They're meaningless. I renounce all of their inherent value. Just please, please don't ban or censor anything.
Because that's your safe zone, isn't it, Buttercup? My video games.
Here is the random edgelord in his natural habitat. Notice the Doritos grinded into the carpet and the X-Bone controller firmly wedged up his own arsehole.
Okay, Buttercup, if you're gonna be edgy, that's cucks with a K.
Hello everyone, edgy neckbeard basement dweller here. Now before I begin, this is not what I was advertising in my teaser trailer. I decided to delay it since the project is rather ambitious and I need more time to complete it.
You could have edited out your fat wheezing ass out of the video. Here, let's play that again. I mean, I think it's sexy when a man's literally wheezing for air in the middle of talking. Buttercup, perhaps you might want to put your X-Bone controller down and do some jumping jacks.
That I already know you're gonna make.
But Darkscythe, that's an ad hominem!
That's called a straw man fallacy, Buttercup. By the way, is that a Grendel avatar? Personally, I love 1990s ads. Kids these days have no taste.
So for those of you that weren't aware, 2 weeks ago I decided to make a teaser for an upcoming project of mine, and it got great reception from the commentary community.
For those of you who don't know, I made 3 videos on Mr. Medicare, and it got a great reception from the My Vidya Gamez community. Buttercup, that's 14 downvotes. I have several hundred. Oh, you precious little snowflake, you. Remember, ribbing ya.
So I used doodle diapers as an example.
But dang slut, the term doodle diapers is overused!
So I was using the term edgy, but you don't hear me bitching, do you? Basically, I explained how I didn't like how he disabled comments on his video on Mr. Medicare, explaining that he is clearly censoring the opinions of others.
But Dorkscythe, they called her an autistic spurg, and that's cyberbullying and harassment!
Alright, let's take this in turn in regards to doodle diapers. This is the Fandom Menace. He just put up a video where he talks about chunky ass for 11 minutes.
So let me tell you, child, about how I am the Lord and Savior, chunky ass.
Are we going to start defining him as the chunky ass menace from now on? I have an affinity for big tits. Do I get to be Big Tits FNGR from now on? I mean, we're going to start calling Ryan Penis B. Mills from now on, are we? It would be kinda weird to define someone by their kink. As for censoring the opinions of others, I was fairly close to ground zero in this bad boy. Oddly enough, I heard Doodle ate it far worse than I did, though this isn't a competition. I've had 2 channels that took a backlash. One, I cut all the crap out, and the other one, I just let the shit lay on the floor where it landed. Fanon Frenzy, and you're free to look through any of those comment sections. They look like shitholes. Censorship is a big, scary word for frightened small children, but it's not that I don't understand why it's scary. Here, if I offered you $5 and $10, you'd take 10. It's more. If I offered you 1 or 2 scoops of your favorite ice cream, you'd ask for 2 most likely, even if you weren't hungry, because it's better to have and not need and not have. Censorship, to the simple-minded, invokes the image of less. If I wanted to agree with you, I would say that you would prefer a chick with boobs as opposed to not having boobs. Buttercup, I'm assuming you prefer boobs. Now, let's read off 5 samples of what I can only assume was shit Susie didn't want to have to put up with.
Spurg Rage, you're a thick. I gotta give this like 11 thumbs down. Look at the nigger chimp out. Lol. Get fucked, nerd.
Now, actually looking back, that doesn't seem like that big of a deal other than, well, this tranny bitch here that's dating Armored Skeptic, bringing her shoddiness into my comment section. And that's not me being a bigot. She, he, it, right here, only talks about there being 2 genders, so I'm gonna call him he because the customer is always right. This shit gets old, and a saner person than I would have just turned that shit off.
If you can't take what some random neckbeard from bumfuck Iowa has to say with a grain of salt, then you probably shouldn't be on the internet in the first place. Simple as that. Now, that's all I have to say about doodle diapers. Everything about it has been said before, and I don't feel like regurgitating what others have said, because that's exactly what the CC cucks are doing with me right now, and I want no part of that.
The whole point of this video was to get the CC cucks talking about you. I don't know about you, but if I'm trying to get someone's attention, cucks isn't a bad way to go. If you're not going to put your love and care into doing a stylized troll, it's kind of lazy. Hey, let me show you something. What a real troll looks like.
When he's critiquing the humor, but then he goes on to say that he's gonna pick apart the humor, implying that he is to be taken seriously. Are you pulling a manga comment on me right now?
Now see that burns. Now if I were here to do a Buttercup video, I would say, what would I expect from an 8chan fag and his Vidya Gamez? But I'm not gonna do that here. See how full of shit that sounds? Now, glossing over censorship points with Reaper, generally artists over the years, if you know your history, when they have limitations placed on them, rise to the occasion to put content with deeper meaning. Whereas in YouTube's case, in the comment sections, giving ultimate freedom to John Blow, Jane Blow, Howard Blow, all the blows, you get YouTube's comment section, which thankfully YouTube gives us an opt-out by turning it off. And truthfully, you have a recourse, sir. You have this video. No one's censoring you from getting off your fat ass and making a response. But did you notice this, Buttercup? You're fine with calling bullshit out on someone, but the moment the spotlight's put on you by anyone, well, they're CC cucks. Well, in that line of thinking, we can just slap Medfag on your forehead and just put a checkmark in the win column. So you can go back to playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Others, when the very foundation of the CC is supposed to be a space of free thinkers and the ability to voice your opinion no matter how unpopular or grotesque it is. I have no problem with skits if they are properly executed and entertaining, even if they are long. I've made long skits myself, so I clearly have no problem with it. I don't really care that you call yourself the skeleton of the CC. However, I find it ironic that the self-proclaimed skeleton of the CC is trying to ridicule me for being edgy, implying that calling yourself the fucking skeleton of the CC isn't edgy at all. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say the CC is a perfect community, with absolutely god-tier videos every single time. I'll admit that it has some problems it needs to work out, like the bandwagon effect, which I find is kind of annoying. However, it feels like the anti-CC's problems seem to be more petty nitpicks than anything else. Petty nitpicks? Yeah, like every criticism the CC cucks have given me on my trailer so far.
This is all petty. The CC was born out of petty. Your god is Mr. Medicare, the man who made Gamergate, the Lord High embodiment of petty bullshit. Next question.
Trailer so far? Doodle is a transgendered typer fag, setting aside the fact that she's admitted that sex disgusts her, and all the pictures she drew were challenges more than anything else. But now, let's throw pointless mud at everything, because why not? Yeah, sex disgusts him, even though he's admitted that he's interested in fetishes?
However, fetishes are things that infinitely fascinate me.
I'm really about to lose some friends for this. But if a Catholic priest said the same shit Doodle said, everyone here would be screaming bullshit. Now, while I understand an unhealthy fixation doesn't always equal a boner, I myself don't get an erection over an AR-15. Or do I? I mean, come on. Tell me that thing isn't a work of art. All the inner workings and the things that go on into making this a fully functional instrument of death. I mean, if this doesn't turn you on, I have to wonder if you're gay or something. What were we talking about again? Oh yeah, I think Doodle here is in the closet about being a pervert. I also don't really think that this is relevant or anyone's business. For example, I have legions of 8chan medfags who go around telling me my dad's dead. And unless I go out and prove that he's alive, they'll all say it's true. It's a dumb idea to give medfags more personal information, Dio. Which is why I understand why Doodle would be less than forthcoming on what may or may not rock her socks.
You can't be interested in fetishes and be disgusted with sex. That's just not how it works. That's like being disgusted by gore, but being interested in murdering your entire family.
What the fuck are you on about? Has anyone here ever thought about killing their boss? How about someone who hurt their family? I'm sure some of these people aren't keen on watching the juicier inner knickknacks pouring out of a human being. Besides, you could run someone over, you could use a high-powered rifle, or some good old poison. My point is, your examples suck dick to win the argument. But hey, calling me out on being nitpicky would be CC bullshit, and you're better than that, and you're not a cuck. So I'm gonna nip this in the ass because your video is horribly redundant.
Edgy and had terrible music, I decided to revamp the trailer more to your liking.
You better believe that I got tricks up my sleeve, and I captivate, cause I'm powerful and great.
So Buttercup, in short, I find you're interesting. You bring the fire and I'll bring the fuel, and I'll hope to hear from you soon. P.S. Don't change a thing, you're perfect. I just wanted to argue with you. Mwah!